might be asking what I'm doing here with all this food. I'm here to talk about one of the easiest and most impactful ways to reduce our carbon footprint, sustainable consumption. 45% of our carbon footprint comes from what we buy, 25% from food, and 20% from other goods. But making better choices doesn't mean sacrificing well-being or progress. In fact, it can be the opposite. Cutting emissions can be equal to saving money. In Switzerland, an average adult spends around $600 in groceries. Here, over this 1 square meter is my supply for 30 days, costing just around half of it, about $300. In average, that's around $3,600 less per year and $36,000 less in 10 years. How? Just by avoiding processed food and reducing meat. This saves money that can be reinvested locally, creating jobs and growing wealth. In my case, investment has been in refurbishing real estate properties. For example, same principle can apply to buying cars as well. That reduces wealth, in average with 50% depreciation in 5 years, whilst increasing emissions. Instead, if you take public transport and reinvest that money, you can increase wealth. Taking the same example, it's properties. In Switzerland, prices have gone up 16% in the same 5 years. Lower emissions also equal to better health. A plant-based diet cuts food-related emissions by up to 50%. For example, when you compare beef versus lentils, 100 grams of beef generates 60 kilograms of CO2 equivalent, whilst 300 grams of cooked lentils only 2.7 for the same amount of protein. I now limit my beef intake to summer barbecues and try to limit other animal-based proteins. It is difficult at the beginning, like cutting sugar and fat, but the health benefits make it worth it. For example, I've lost 4% of body fat just by changing my diet in 6 months. Talking about local versus low carbon food, what we eat matters more than where it comes from. Transport emissions are minor compared to production. That's why, whilst you can see here eggs from 200 meters from home, you can also see bananas from Ghana and Brazilian nuts. Global trade supports economies, ensuring diverse and affordable food. This video is inspired in Hannah Rich's book called Not the End of the World, a rarely seen, optimistic take on sustainability. I resonate deeply with her view, as I also believe the world is improving, not declining. Her data makes a strong case for it. Many countries are already growing economically whilst reducing emissions. Sustainable choices are already driving a systematic change in our industries. Sustainability is not only cutting emissions, it's also to ensure that people have quality of life whilst we transition to a low-carbon economy. There is still a lot to do, and fast, but the responsibility is not only with governments or big corporations. We as consumers have more power than we think. So in your case, what's the one change you've made for a more sustainable future? Please feel free to share it in the comments below. Thanks a lot for watching.